White Death, the deadliest sniper of World War II. Hello, everyone. This is Tony, and you're watching War and History. Imagine being so dangerous that an entire army begins hunting you. Not a battalion, not a regiment, an entire army. Imagine soldiers refusing to move during daylight because they know you might be watching. Imagine commanders sending elite snipers to kill you. Then artillery, then entire search teams, and still failing. Now imagine accomplishing all of this without modern equipment, without advanced optics, without high-tech camouflage, without even using a telescopic sight. This is the story of a man who became a legend, a man the Soviet army feared so much that they gave him a name: the White Death. His real name was Simo Häyhä, and his story sounds almost impossible to believe, because according to official records, he became the deadliest sniper in military history. But the most incredible part isn't how many enemies he killed, it's how he survived long enough to do it. To understand the legend of the White Death, we must travel to the winter of 1939. Europe was already descending into chaos. World War II had begun, and on November 30th, the Soviet Union launched an invasion of Finland. The Soviet leadership expected a quick victory. On paper, the outcome seemed obvious. The Soviet Union possessed more soldiers, more tanks, more aircraft, more artillery. Almost everything favored the Red Army. Finland, by comparison, appeared hopelessly outmatched. Many military analysts believed the country would collapse within weeks. But they underestimated one thing: the Finnish people. And they underestimated one particular soldier. Simo Häyhä had spent most of his life in rural Finland. He was not a career officer. He was not famous. He was not wealthy. Before the war, he worked as a farmer and hunter. Years spent hunting in the forests had taught him patience, discipline, and extraordinary marksmanship, skills that would soon become deadly. When war arrived, Häyhä joined the Finnish army. He was assigned to a sniper role. At first, nobody imagined he would become a legend. Then, the killing began. The conditions were brutal. Temperatures often dropped below -40 degrees Celsius. Snow covered the landscape. Visibility was limited. The cold alone could kill a man. Yet somehow, these conditions became Häyhä's greatest advantage. He dressed entirely in white camouflage. He learned how to disappear into the snow. He packed snow in front of his firing position to prevent it from revealing his location. He even kept snow in his mouth while waiting for targets. That way, his breath wouldn't create visible vapor in the freezing air. Every detail mattered. Every movement mattered. One mistake could mean death, and Soviet soldiers were desperately trying to find him, but finding him proved nearly impossible. Then something extraordinary happened. His kill count began rising. 10, 20, 50, 100, then even higher. Reports started spreading through Soviet units. A ghost was hunting them, a sniper who seemed impossible to locate, a sniper who appeared, fired, and vanished. Fear began spreading faster than bullets. Soon, Soviet soldiers gave him a nickname: the White Death. And once that name appeared, the legend only grew. The Soviet army understood that ordinary soldiers could not stop him, so they sent their own snipers. The best they had. Their mission was simple: find Häyhä, kill him, end the nightmare. One by one, they failed. The hunter became the hunted, and yet he survived. As weeks passed, frustration grew among Soviet commanders. Snipers weren't enough. Something more aggressive was needed. Artillery units were ordered to bombard areas where Häyhä was believed to be hiding. Entire sections of forest were shelled. Explosions ripped through the snow-covered landscape. The objective wasn't just to kill him, it was to erase him. Still, he survived. The White Death continued appearing where Soviet soldiers least expected him. By now, the story had become larger than one man. He was turning into a symbol of Finnish resistance, a symbol that reminded the Soviets that numbers alone do not guarantee victory. But every legend eventually faces its greatest test, and Häyhä's moment arrived in March 1940. After months of combat, Soviet forces finally got lucky. During a firefight, an explosive bullet struck him in the face. The damage was catastrophic. Part of his jaw was shattered. He collapsed. Many assumed he was dead. For days he remained unconscious. The White Death had finally fallen, or so it seemed. Then something remarkable happened. He survived. In fact, he regained consciousness on the very day a ceasefire between Finland and the Soviet Union came into effect. The war ended, and somehow, against all odds, the deadliest sniper in history was still alive. When historians later attempted to verify his achievements, the numbers seemed unbelievable. Official records credited him with over 500 confirmed sniper kills during the Winter War. Some estimates place the number even higher when including kills made with a submachine gun. To put that into perspective, many soldiers never even see 500 enemy troops during an entire war. Yet Häyhä achieved this in only a few months, without a telescopic sight, without modern technology, in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. After the war, he never sought fame. He never became a celebrity. He rarely spoke about his wartime experiences. Instead, he returned to a quiet life. The man who had terrified an army simply went home. Perhaps that is what makes his story so fascinating. He wasn't driven by glory. He wasn't chasing recognition. He was simply defending his country. Today, more than 80 years later, military historians still study his tactics, his patience, his discipline, his ability to remain calm under unimaginable pressure. Because while many soldiers become famous for winning battles, Simo Häyhä became legendary for something else. He proved that one determined individual can influence the course of a conflict far beyond what anyone believes possible. The White Death became a nightmare for the Soviet army, a hero to Finland, and a legend to history. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. See you in the next episode. Goodbye and take care.